All right, we're going to talk about my favorite topic today, and that is, yes, you guessed, safety. So we're going to cover safety in the summer heat. So if you're out there in the heat, you know, there are a few things that you can do to kind of keep yourself cool and comfortable. I am bad in the heat, so like no other person, or like the next person, I guess. But I have a few tricks that I can share with you. All right, let's dive in. So, first of all, a thermos. You know, I have a thermos here that I fill up with ice and water, or ice and some electrolytes and a little bit of water. So those are important. When you sweat, you're losing electrolytes. So there are packets of electrolytes that are pretty cheap at Walgreens, and they come in all kinds of flavors. So you can use that, which is very helpful and keeps you out of the red zone. Red zone. Think about that. A fan. You can use a fan in your wheelchair, whether it's manual or power. There are ones that look like octopuses and they work with batteries, or they're rechargeable. So you can use those that are octopus type, and you could wrap it around the tubing of your wheelchair, or you can get the ones that clip, and that will also be very helpful for you during your outings. Clothing. Be mindful of how you dress. Don't dress too warm or too hot. You got to think of all the things: mosquitoes, sun, all that kind of stuff. There are some cooling shirts, but I don't know how good they are. I've never tried them, but you can also look at cooling rags or cooling towels, that they call them. You can put them in cold water or put them in the fridge for a little bit, and then you have a cooling towel. Because having something cool on your neck really helps, or on your back, wherever you feel that you get hot the most. So, clothing. So you got to be mindful of head to toe. Just be, you know, you can use shorts, you can use light pants. If you're not comfortable with shorts, or a dress, a flowing dress, make sure it doesn't get entangled in your wheels when you're out. Shoes, make sure you don't put on heavy duty socks. You could put on some sandals or flip flops. You're not going to go out there walking. So we're wheelchair users. So you can use some sandals, or Zoris, that we used to call them. Now I'm dating myself. Let's stop it. Um, you know, Something that's airy. So no heavy socks. It's helpful because the feet kind of help control part of the temperature. So keeping those feet cool is important and helpful. Uh, Take breaks in the shade, or take breaks in cool places. You can go to a mall or to a coffee shop for a little while and then come back out. But keep yourself, find ways to cool your body down in cool places. We talked about a cooling towel already, whether it's on your back or your shoulders or wherever you feel the hottest. But use a cooling towel, and those are pretty cheap. And I'll put some links up for that. You know where I purchase my stuff. I won't say it here because I'm really not, promoting any kind of brand or any kind of company. You can purchase them wherever you'd like. Eating or drinking, you got to be careful with alcohol, because alcohol can throw you over, in the heat. So you want to stick to electrolytes, in the thermos, or water. You can do soda too, with a lot of ice. But still, the best recipe is water or electrolytes and some water. So that is, eating, don't overdo. You're in the heat, even though it's fun, you don't want to overdo. You want to keep your eating a little light when you're out and about in the sun. Sweating. I sweat a lot on my butt. I don't know about you, but I use a cushion. Let me back up here. I use this airy cushion. It looks like a honeycomb cover. And so I sit on airy things, or I use a towel. I put a towel underneath to make sure that something is catching my sweat. So, you got to think of what you're sitting on too. Be careful with gel cushions because they can react, or plastic type cushions, they can react to the heat and either get super hot or just have some weird chemical reaction. So be careful with also those cushions that are memory foam. Memory foam also reacts to heat. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing cushions to sit on. And if all else fails, take a towel and just sit on a towel, because that will, keep you dry, and it will help, protect the cushion, whatever cushion you have or not have. But all I'm saying is sitting on a towel might be helpful for you. For your back as well, think of either having a towel back there or having some kind of airy cushion that will keep you cool. So I don't think I have anything else. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ideas to keep yourself cool, keep yourself healthy, and have plenty of fun in the sun. And again, there's some of us who are very sensitive to the heat, and we have to be careful. I'm one of those. So I'm hoping these ideas, one of them, that you implement and just stay very cool in the sun and just have a blast this summer.